So then I started videos and I got really like I was like, oh, maybe I'll try it. I feel
Sure,
like I
sure.
took it at the wrong time because there's fucking all the 66 stuff coming out. So
True, but at the very least, you're going to have a lot of skills kind of going into that for a while. And
true,
obviously,
true.
like those are just play tests as of right now. So regardless. Okay, so you've been playing and you've been stuck at least around the diamond level for about a year recently, more around like the low masters, high diamond. Now, how long have you
Yeah.
been playing Overwatch and how long have you been a Doomfist OTP?
I've been playing Overwatch since I'd say around the end of season of the Overwatch 1, so like season 35, something like that. I don't remember. I used to be
Mm-hmm.
like a Rhine OTP,
Mm-hmm.
but then going into Overwatch 2, I played a lot of Doom starting season 4.
Okay, okay,
So, a long
okay.
time, yeah.
Sounds good. So like an Overwatch 2 venture. Now, what about the situation? Your situation changed to where you started OTP Doomfist? Did you just like, oh my gosh, this character is fun. I need to be doing this, or was it as simple as that, or what?
I think it was just because like I really got bored of like all the Rhine stuff, and I also kind of felt stuck because I was like in gold then,
Yeah.
and a lot of my friends were playing a lot of like dive characters. So I was just kind of like, oh, maybe I'll try a dive character, and I stumbled upon Doomfist. I think I saw a lot of like zebra videos, and
Yeah.
that kind of looked fun. So
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
mhm,
Sounds good. And then you've been stuck for a while, so obviously
mhm.
the improvement feels a little bit frustrating, but the character is still fun. So
Yeah, yeah, of course.
yeah. So for you, you're playing Overwatch around 5 games a day during the week and around 3 hours, if not more, on the weekend. So you're getting good reps then.
Yeah, I mean, just this season, I already have like 44 hours on Doom, so I'm
Got
kind
it.
of start doing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And you want to reach Grandmaster if possible.
Yeah, something like that. I know
Okay.
what really inspired me was like in season 6 because tank like top 500 placements at the start of the season are like really really low. So
Yeah.
like I placed like top 121 while I was like in diamond. And I think that really
Yeah.
like inspired me.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to look at, right? It's like, wow, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it does.
I want that for real. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Now for training time right now, you said we've got the time, but how is that in terms of ranked warm up, breaks, the whole 9 yards? How consistent are you with all those things? Do you even do them?
Uh, I mean, my breaks are just like I play other video games, I guess. I
Sure.
don't. My warm up games are just like go into ranked, I guess.
Right. So just
Uh,
straight cold shot, just jump
Yeah,
in.
basically. Yeah, I feel like
Okay.
it's the best thing for me to just like get all of it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
might
Okay.
struggle a bit for like half the round, but then usually I pick
Yeah.
it up.
Okay. Have you used a warm up before?
I did a bit of aim training, but not really, I guess.
Yeah, okay, okay. That might be something I'd recommend. It's not necessarily the
Hmm.
aim training specifically, but giving yourself the chance to kind of just warm up with the character a little bit, even if it's just for like 2 or 3 minutes. Have you heard of Vaxa?
No, I haven't.
So let me pull this up really fast. It's just a workshop code. You might even recognize it when you see it. Let me pull it up really fast. And basically what it does is it just has like more realistic movement patterns, and it's just like
Hmm.
rapid exposure. So if I pull this up here, get Vaxta in here. I'll type it in your channel as well, so if you forget, you'll be able to look it up. Vaxta. Okay. And I really don't recommend doing this for long. And I really mean 2 or 3 minutes. But what you could
Hmm.
do is you could practice multiple different aspects of a character. As we're getting stuck here. Let me try this again. Okay, there we go. And for Doom, that would be practice slam tracking. That would be practicing quick punches. That would be simply just practicing your shots. Just like getting a little bit of a repetition. Like think about like if you were to go play sports, right? You wouldn't just
Yeah.
jump right in, right? You do some jogs, you do some arm circles, you do some high knees. Nothing super intense necessarily. You just kind of wake yourself up. And I think that's kind of the goal of Doomfist as well. So you might just kind of like flick punch. Okay, where's my next target? Flick punch, right?
Oh yeah,
Right,
I
just
played
this
that
kind of
map.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and then what I would do is I'd practice your shots as well. So like I'm gonna pick a target, and I'm just gonna lock on that target. And
Hmm.
as corny as it sounds, but being able to practice that, and then it's something as simple as like slam tracking. So what that would mean is you're gonna slam, and you're gonna track and get the follow up shot immediately afterwards, right? And then you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
slam, you're gonna get the follow up shot, right? And you're just gonna practice that. And you can see in the top left, there's like an orange timer.
Yeah, yeah.
Do this for 3 minutes. Pick one thing, do it for 30 seconds, do the next thing for 60 seconds, do the next thing for 90 seconds or whatever, and then you're done.
All right.
That's it. And I just think that you're going to walk in to that game feeling 25, 30% more warmed up, a little bit more mechanically alert. You're not necessarily playing the game in Vaxta, but you are waking your brain up. And I think that's really what you want to warm up to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So
I'll
we'll
try that
pick
next time.
Vaxta for warm up, 2 or 3 minutes, aim, punches, slam tracking, etc. Just little things like that. Okay. And now I want to talk about breaks as well. So the type of break that I'm referring to is not necessarily doing something else. It's between games. So I know tank queues are quick, but between games, getting up from your PC and just walking around. And the value of that is the same from a break in anything. You're doing basketball practice, you're doing you're at work, right? Like you could be doing
Yeah.
anything. Having some sort of like break mentally away from what you're doing, even just to kind of like think about what happened, think about what went wrong, what went well. That's really, really valuable. And I recommend, if you can, doing that between every single game, at least for the first couple of games when you can remember to do so. Don't just queue up and sit there or check Twitter or jump in skirmish, right? Queue up, walk away from your computer, get some water. 30 seconds.
All right. So like no,
So,
like I could do like a VOD review. Sorry, it's
no,
like
no VOD
yeah,
reviews.
yeah, yeah.
No VOD
Okay.
reviews. Yeah, no VOD reviews. So let yourself rest. If you're gonna VOD review, do that after a game, or just don't join queue and look at a couple of fights and then join queue and take your break, right? But like I think a lot of people, like myself included, used to do a lot of deathmatch between games, and they used to do VOD review, like you're saying, like they just, but like you're never allowing your brain to rest, so that you get tired really fast, and like you don't go. Like the most important thing you could do to get better at Overwatch is go in, have a lot of fun, and be really focused during your ranked games. It's more important than VOD review. It's more important than anything. So that's the best thing. So breaks, I'll say 30 seconds to 2-minute breaks in queues. Just getting away from your PC specifically. And then I think that's mostly it. I think like everything else for you looks pretty good. Like you're getting 2 to 3 hours, 1 to 3 hours a day. Like that's pretty good practice, as long as you're taking those breaks and you have goals for each game. Would like to reach Grandmaster, would like to reach top 500. You like to do things to go all the way. Fair enough. Goals here, we've talked about that. I think I lack some understanding of the tank role. I hear a lot of people saying a lot of different things, so I get lost, and I feel like my playstyle is the wrong one. I know I have good aim, and I can land my shots, but sometimes I feel like there's something more I need. Okay. What do you hear? What confuses you? Let's start with that.
All right. I feel like I hear a lot of people because like I watch some of your like other VODs with like other Bloom players, and so you're like you need to take a lot of space. But then, for example, I watched some Samito gameplay, and he's like, "Oh, you just really need to play for your life." And some people tell me like, "Oh, you need to be more aggressive." Some are like, "You're too aggressive." It's like I hear kind of everything, so it's kind of hard to know which one it is.
It is hard. It is hard.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So here's what I would say. Okay. So first things first. The obvious thing is that somebody who is really good at the game is going to have their own set of biases. And even within coaches are going to have different approaches. Doesn't mean that those approaches are wrong. Doesn't mean that my approach is wrong. Doesn't mean another coach's approach is wrong. People are just going to have different approaches. What you need to find is things and mentalities and tricks that work best for you, and good habits to get you there. Do you notice that, like, how much emphasis I put on a little bit of Axta, right, for warm up, or taking breaks in games? That's big picture stuff. That's going to help you get the details right. Now, how you approach those details, that's up to you. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at some gameplay here, and I'm going to give you some advice. I'm going to give you some tips, but I'm also going to have you help coach me, help teach me, and I'm going to encourage you to go and experiment and try things on your own. So I'm going to tell you my approach of how I think Doomfist can operate best, because I've worked with 100, 200, 300, 400 Doomfist players, right? But don't just take my word as gospel. Go test it.
All right.
Go test it. Every successful player has always been at least 50, 60% self-taught. You'll get an idea from me. You go experiment with it. Be like, well, I like this, or no, I don't like this, and I think this way works better for me. That's fine. What I encourage you to do is don't say adjectives like aggressive, defensive, and don't try to die less or die more. Just play better.
All right.
Your job is not to be more aggressive or less aggressive. Your job is just to make the correct decision in every correct situation. And to do that, you're going to have to learn how to use your CDs better, or your mechanics better, or positioning better, or be more aware of your team. I think the problem with a lot of other people that coach, not necessarily professional other coaches, but just players, is they say, oh, you need to be more aggressive, or you just need to not die and you'll win with Doomfist. Like that's unbelievably unhelpful. Because what does aggressive mean?
I don't know, just like getting more in there. I'm like getting more kills. being more
right.
risky with it.
Right. So what does that mean? Does that mean taking more flanks, or just going really hard in the front line, or just going on the back line really hard, or always landing on back line with your ultimate, or always going with 2 CDs? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Right? Like, so like I think for us, it's like there's often going to be a high risk, high reward option. There's often going to be a low risk, low reward option. But like that, I hate when people say that, right? And I also hate when people say you need to be dying less. Well, what does that mean? Am I messing up my cooldowns? Is my cover usage bad? Am I like not playing with my team? Again, that doesn't give you any helpful information. So we're going to look at your replay codes, and we're going to tell you what you need to be doing. And what I'll probably tell you is probably to play more defensive in some ways and more aggressive in other ways. And but we're going to be very specific. Great question. Now you say, I feel like I lack some understanding, and you also talk a little bit about your play style being potentially wrong. Talk to me about that.
It's pretty fun story. Actually, it started when I was playing with one of my friends, and we ran into Kefri. You know Kefri, the streamer?
Yeah, of course.
We ran into him in a game, and I was like playing, I think, some Doom and some Winston a bit, and I just started, him and his dude just like started flaming me, and I was just like, what the fuck? I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. And so, I mean, like, the guy was like, oh, I can give you a coaching session. I was like, I'm not sure, because like I lack certain understanding, like there was something wrong.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to get it from him. So I chose you to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it was because he was like, oh yeah, there's something like that's not good at your gameplay. So I was trying to figure out what that was.
Sure.
In that game.
Sure. Just a warning. Everyone will always flame you. All the time. And it doesn't matter how good you are, because you will always get flamed. Kefri himself is perma-flamed, like one of the most flamed streamers out there. And that's just how it goes. That's just how Overwatch goes. People are not always nice, and in higher ranks, it gets a little better, I guess. But like, the expectations are still really high. You kind of get what I'm saying? So what I would say is, I think the important thing is if you get criticism or feedback from somebody that you trust, that's something you need to be paying attention to, okay? If you get criticism and feedback from random people in ranked, I don't care if they're streamers or not, screw them.
All right.
If you want to get better at Doomfist, you come to the right place, okay? I have enough of an ego to tell you that, right? However, you shouldn't have gotten the coaching session because Kefri flamed you. I'm not going to lie with you.
No, I mean, it was. I guess it just like inspired me. You know what I mean? Because like I wanted to get better anyway. It was just kind of like a little push. You know?
I got you. And that's happened to me in my life too, with stuff with like people said something really mean or unfair to me, and that kind of was like a motivation for me to do something about it. But I always ended up doing it because I just wanted to, like you said, not because somebody else bullied me into it. And like just check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Am I doing this for me? Am I doing this to feel like so that people won't flame me and then I'll impress the people? Because if you do it for those reasons, that doesn't last very long. It feels good to get not flamed by a streamer. It feels good to be complimented by a streamer, but that feeling passes in like 10 seconds. You'll clip it, you'll show your friends, and then you'll forget about it in a month. So play Doomfist, get better Doomfist because you want to get better Doomfist, and screw Kefri and everybody else, right? That's how it goes, right? Like I get it. Like we all have our moments. Like get irritated. I'm nothing against Kefri. Everyone's like it, but like that should never be your motivation, right? Okay, take my money so I can get better at game. Okay, if you insist. I don't have it. Okay, do you have any other questions? Gameplay, strategy, Doomfist, anything else before we get into gameplay here?
I don't think so. No, not really.
All right, shoot me one of those codes and we'll start.
Here, I'll just send all 4. I had a couple. I have one on King Row where we like got stuck on third point. On Jerkertown, I played against a lot of counters.
Yep.
And there was one game, the last one with the crazy Widow. It was like there was this really, really good Widow who like kept hitting shots. I didn't know if I was like not putting enough pressure on her or if she was just better.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a look here. Now,
I don't know if there's anyone you want to start with.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So the one I would recommend would be the one where you felt the most confused or lost as to like what I could do to help or like what I was doing. Either you were dying a lot or weren't having a lot of impact or whatever. Those are the ones that I preferred. Is there any one that stands out?
I'd say maybe the King Row one because like most of the game was really, really good. Like on third point, you really, really got stuck there, and I felt like I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I think it's also when they switched to Orisa, so it became even harder.
Works for me. Okay, any other questions before we jump in?
No.
Just double checking. Okay. So from your knowledge here, from where you're at right now, what helped you to improve from gold at Rhine to diamond and sometimes even masters with Doomfist? What are you good at with Doomfist? What is Doomfist also good at?
He's good at going at like anywhere. He's got a lot of movement, so you can just like take space easily.
Yep.
Uh,
How do you
I'd
use
say
that? What is that useful for?
putting pressure, I guess, and just taking space. I don't know.
How is it better at pushing pressure and taking space? Like I'm being like you gotta talk like you're talking to a bronze player. You gotta prove it to me, right? Like what do you mean putting pressure?
I say it's since you can take a lot of angles, it's a lot easier to shoot people and put like a different like angle of pressure, I guess. Like put a different sideline you need to worry about.
Yeah. So you're kind of attacking them from multiple different positions because you can move around. Okay. Now you also said taking space. What is taking space?
I guess taking forcing cooldowns and making it so
cooldowns?
that they by taking like certain angles that like makes it so they can like
So we're going back to your first point. So you're saying like you're taking space because you're taking angles. You're forcing cooldowns by taking angles. So it's all about like you're setting yourself up to tank. And you said you're about to say something about making them look at you.
Yeah, just like they look at me instead of like focusing on the point and like pushing or
well, all right. So you talk about your understanding of tank. Your execution of those principles might not be perfect, but you just nailed it. Like that's tank. Congrats. You put pressure. You scare people, either directly or you make them think about you, right? And that puts pressure on them. That forces cooldowns. That is what distracts them. And you do that by taking angles. You're taking different positions that work for your character. You nailed it right there. Okay, nice job. Now, what makes Doomfist unique? You said you moved around a lot, so you can choose a lot of different angles, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna want to see that mobility being used. If you watch a lot of high-level Doomfist especially in certain maps, you'll be surprised at how many times they end up focusing tank. And that's because the rule of Doomfist is that the angle doesn't always have to be on the backline. It doesn't have to be. So, for example, let me give you an example here. If we were like to take a fight at this choke here, if I'm playing Rhine, I might need to play here, right? I might not be able to play way over here, right? But if I'm playing Doomfist, I could take an angle and shoot tank from here because I have 2 mobility cooldowns. So if they try to kill me for being split from my backline, they're not going to, right? I'm just going to disengage. So the question is, what's the value of playing here as Doomfist as opposed to playing here? What's better?
I'd say you're like on a closer angle, and since you're like on the left, the supports, the supports have a certain angle, and you have another one. Yeah. So it kind of like forces the Ryan to, I guess, look at you, and also have to
nailed it.
Look at the supports.
You nailed it. So like you're still focusing tank, but the Ryan has to decide where he's putting his attention, and it's just a major distraction. And the other thing too is it also allows a more direct approach to backline if you want to go backline. So you might focus tank, but because you're here, if you do want to go backline, you got that lane, right? You got that lane. Whereas if you're here, you just don't always have that exact same choice. So with Doom, you're not bad in tank trades. You can be quite good in tank trades. Your job is not to avoid front line. Your job is not to always go back line. Your job is to just take a good close angle, like you were saying, and see what's available from there, and then use your cooldowns around that. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I like the starting position here. And I also like that you're playing here. Why is this the correct position for Doomfist? This is kind of a trick question here. Tell me what you think.
I guess because like the Ryan's not looking at you, so you can more easily like go on the back lines.
Yeah. But why not here? It's the same kind of an angle, right? Where if your team was here, you'd focus here, and then you're here, right? So why not? Are you not stuffing the choke here? Why are you playing this far back?
I feel like you're too far, and like your Brig and Ana would. Because like I feel like my Ana can reach me if I'm on the other side of the.
That's it.
Of like the statue.
No. That's it, right? Because where you're like you had all the information you need before the round even started. If you look at where your Ana is set up, and even your Junkrat, right? They're not set up to fight at the choke. They're set up to fight kind of like here-ish. So that's where you go. You got me? So you need to kind of be aware of where your team is at to know what angle you should play. And I think this is the correct angle. You did a good job. Now, one critique here is be careful about how many times you're spamming your shots here. Because if you did want to go right now, what's the problem?
I don't have any shots. So
right. So I think at this range, keep 2 in the chamber, 3 in the chamber, something like that. Don't be super spammy with it.
All right.
This is fine. Little tip as well. If you're really tight with your cover usage as well, so you swung a little wide here, you said not terribly, you can actually slam and not even use your punch. Slam, tuck. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
The other problem as well is that you end up punching away from cover as well. So you're kind of end up getting a little bit you lose a lot of space real fast. So just be careful. Now, how can you slam to cover? Because you can slam in here. But that I don't want you to slam in and punch out, right? That's the Doomfist bait cycle. That's what all the Overwatch 1 Doomfist think that is the correct way, and it's not. You need to slam to a position where you can stay. Where can you stay?
I'd say the door in front. Like
you nailed it. You nailed it.
Room, yeah.
You nailed it. So you see how this is like a two-step approach, right? Does that immediately get you to targets? No. No, it doesn't. Not really, right? But you know what? It will in a few seconds. And it's not going to cost you both cooldowns. You understand? You nailed it.
Yeah, I think there I slam in the middle there. I think I slam and I took.
Oh, I know you are. You're going to slam in, you're going to punch out. I'm waiting for it. Oh, you're not going to even punch out. You're actually going to tuck. But do you see the danger of this? You see the danger?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no counterplay versus CC. Like, she just misses it, right? Like, I don't know what she's smoking, right? So she just whiffs it, and that's the only reason this doesn't get punished. But if you slam here, you actually get the same amount of damage, but you actually have legitimate counterplay versus CC versus just, oh, I hope that they miss it. That's not good enough for me. That's not good enough for me, right? Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I do like that you waited a few seconds so that you have a higher chance of your team getting back. That's really good. And honestly, dying here is fine. Like, you had to die in point. You had to hopefully maybe allow a trade. I think this is okay. But my point being is if you slam here, probably get an extra second or two of pressure, right? Just an extra second or two because you don't got to worry about taking too much damage. Okay. So basically, set up on your close angles. Use cooldowns if you need to get to those close angles. And use a cooldown when you're setting up on those angles on somewhere with cover. That's the key thing. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Nice. Now, you haven't had time to set up here. Right? You have, let's be honest. You've not had time to set up here. Really nice little shot here. Love to see it. So I want you to tell me what's the setup. 2 steps. Take your time. You could use both cooldowns to set up if you'd like to, as long as you have cover. Where do you
go? I think I maybe tried to like punch back the Ryan.
Okay.
But I don't think that we can like go hold them at this choke because they're already like pretty pushed up.
Okay.
If I just kind of hold this corner.
Sure, but is this an angle?
No, not really. Oh yeah, maybe I could go like on the left. The thing there.
Yeah. This is the strat. Ryan pushes you, you beat the crap out of him. Ryan pushes your team, you beat the crap out of him. You got me? The other strategy here is if you were being a little bit aggressive, like let's say that you did have a little bit more space to hold them at the choke. Where would you
go? I'd say maybe like maybe a high ground or the just lower part next to the choke. Yeah, somewhere there.
Or even here, right? Because this is technically an angle with where your backline is. So if they focus you here, they open up yourself because you're like, oh, I got to worry about Bastion. Yeah, because there's no cover here. That's why I prefer the high ground. I prefer the high ground at least to start so that you can then drop punch or whatever because you have cover, okay? So high ground better. But even here, if the Bastion does turn and focus you, he's going to get slept. And Genji's going to kill him. Right, so even here, it's not optimal, but it's okay. That being said, I think this is a great choice. So this is where what you're doing, or let's put it this way: who you're shooting is not bad. I don't mind you shooting right here. This is fine. Where you're doing it sucks, right? Sucks. You need to recognize that angle there, because now do you see how much harder it is to get value to your nano? Imagine if you got nano here with double cooldowns. Totally different story, right? Totally different story. I like that you didn't force it there. That's good. This is better. I mean, yeah, you got a nice little angle there, right? Like, the Ryan is the one that dies because you're isolating that backline from being on that angle. That's good. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of Doom peeling, but why is this correct?
I'd say because both supports are already, like, in the back, and, I mean, he's the only threat.
Yeah. I mean, that's just as simple as that. What else are you going to shoot right now, right? Everything else is pretty much dead or gone. So, yeah, sure, why not? Okay. By the way, if questions come up, just holler.
All right.
Sure. It's fine with me.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm gonna be real. Who cares? Go next. They just blew 3 ultimates on you, so I think that, and you guys didn't have anything, so that's fine. 3 ultimates is fine. Now. Okay, I was gonna ask a question. Oh, you really wanted that. That would have been sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we really get held here by the Ryan Belucio.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Where should you go here instead? Where's your short angle here? Because you kind of get an angle here, right? Like, this is kind of an angle, right? But there's a better one.
It's like the little door there on the left.
You could.
Maybe, or the high ground.
Yeah. Why is this better than what you did? What's the difference between the two?
I have no cover there.
You have no cover, right? So you have more cover, right? The other one,
like
you
Yana
said,
also
is
can like shoot.
Yeah. So top better because cover, but you have to hide from the Yana. But honestly, I actually think this is probably the better play here. Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that one. You nailed it. I mean, you see the theory here now. You see?
Yeah, I get it.
It's not always going backline at all. It's just going, I'm gonna take an angle with cover, and I'm cooking. Oh, that's actually huge.
I think he beats there. Yeah.
This is where I'm gonna be real. I would just go backline here. Because otherwise you're gonna lose the point. But I don't think this is major error. It's just like whatever. This is just your team got snowballed, mostly not your fault, and then they also used ultimates to snowball, also mostly not your fault. Go next. So I actually think like most of this outside of getting here is not your fault.
All right.
So don't worry about it. That's how it's going to be sometimes. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes and your team's going to carry you. Sometimes your team's going to make mistakes and you're going to need to carry your team. Don't worry about it. Just do your job. Do your job. You're not going to lose a game because of that, right? There's going to be a lot of opportunities to win the game off of that. Like, for example, right now, you're trolling your brains out here. I know that you're up to. I understand wanting to push, but where do you have to engage if you are going to engage?
Maybe high ground again?
Why high ground?
Because there isn't really a good position, I feel like. Because if I want to reach the Ana...
But why? Like, I'm going to pull it out of you. Why? Why are these high grounds good?
Oh, because the Bastion turret could blow me up with
That's it. That's it. It's the same reason why we really liked, if you were going to hold a choke, this position instead of this position. Is because it's cover. You don't die to sleep dart up there. You don't die to turret form, right? You can drop on top of them if you want to, or you could just disengage. Now, does that mean that it has to be high ground, though, right? Like, let's say you didn't want to slam high ground. Where would you slam instead?
I think maybe around the payload, maybe?
Yeah,
or just,
maybe around the payload. Where else?
Maybe like on the down the street, but I feel like that'd be too far for a slam to reach. I'm not sure.
It would be too far for a slam to reach, but what I'm at, but you proved to me that you know what you're looking for, which is cover, right? If you could miraculously slam here, this would be cooking, right? Get a close angle. You can avoid sleep dart. You can avoid turrets. Perfect. I think high ground's best. No reason to overthink it, but you're proving to me that you know exactly what we're talking about here, which is great. Because yeah, you're right. You nailed it. This is just again a whiff sleep dart. You know, she doesn't like you can't do this. It's not that you can't play the game when Ana has sleep dart. A lot of Doomfist mains cry about that. You can. You just have to choose where you engage to. Because let me tell you something. This is still freaking playing the game, right? This is still really playing the game. Okay, and you don't care if you get slept here. Are you on an angle with this?
No, not. I'm just shooting.
Where should you be? Where should you be? Very tiny adjustment, but an important one.
Maybe a bit more on the left, like around the corner.
Just pop it here. Pop it here. Just where you're on, I can still see it, right? But the Ryan has to push me in here. You got to push me outside of your team's LOS, and it's so much easier for me to go in. You nailed it. It's fine. I mean, the idea of what you did there is fine. Feels bad not to get the nano. I think that's what you were expecting, but it doesn't matter. You should be fine. Nice. Good stuff. Do you notice again, by the way, the number of shots that you waste in situations? Nothing major, but there's a lot of damage being thrown out here just kind of lazily. And I just need you to be very conservative with that shot, right? Keep 2 or 3 in the chamber, always.
All right.
That way you can just dump and not worry about it. And by the way, this is not bad if you're on the angle. If you're on the angle here, you take less damage, you also do more damage, right? It's just as simple as that. Just keep that in mind. I like how you're using the payload for cover, though. I'm really, I love that so much. This is okay, but I gotta ask you. Do you have more confidence getting out of the way and peeling this Reinhardt without dying to their backline? Or do you have more confidence using your CDs around payload?
I'd say I feel more confident around the rank because I feel like the real threat is if he pins me, but I still have my punch for that.
Okay. I think I'm okay with you backing off here just because you didn't have your punch or block. But I actually don't like the peel. Unless if you had punch or block, because you're gonna let these guys walk out of the choke for free. You get what I'm saying? The reason why I'm okay with you doing it here is because you don't have any resources to keep them in the choke anymore. You're missing HP. You don't have ult. You don't have block. You don't have punch. But just a good general rule: don't chase tanks around too much. You got me?
Yeah. Right.
So this is more like, oh, we got picked. I don't have any CDs. I'm backing off, and less about I'm peeling Reinhardt. Make sense?
All right. Yeah.
Because you're not gonna kill this guy. Same rule. Hold the angle. Just be patient. Just hold the angle. Hold the angle. Be patient. You need to be patient and hold the angle. Because it's not going to change the blade. It's not going to change the Bastion, but if they try to push off of it, it might.
I think what I did there is I tried to like go in the middle so I could get punch. But
I see.
I could say I used my cooldown there.
Yeah. You're too tech pilled, right? Too many Quake videos. I mean, that stuff is fine, just as long as it doesn't compromise your positioning. It just did, so it's bad.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, the one thing about Doomfist is everyone's got a clip farm at one point.
Yeah, true.
So if you're like, dude, I need a clip, right? I'm with you on that one. Go for it. I don't care. You're not gonna stay if you clip farm like one fight a game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not gonna kill you. You could use a cover, like really good use of cover here. That's the only reason you live here. Now, this is where you're making a mistake. I want you to set up first and then use your punch. Where should you set up? Remember, it's covered, right?
I feel like I could slam all the way over to the Ryan and go on
you
to
got
like,
it.
Get to here. Over there, yeah.
Get to here, and then if he's going to chase you, you're going to ruin his day, right? So then you can decide you could either drop punch or just honestly, you could even walk right past the Ryan kill backline if you wanted to. So you make him choose, and they're both bad choices for him, right? This kind of crap just makes me depressed because it's like, oh, I missed the punch, but I'm gonna be real. What are the odds of you hitting a punch like this?
Yeah, true. It's pretty.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how good you are at Doom. This is just ridiculously hard. You got to set up on the angle with cover. Set up angle cover. Cut up angle cover.
Should I have like went for the Lucio there because he's like really supporting the Ryan? So I feel like if I just killed the Lucio there,
let's put you here. What do you think? Well, so you're gonna set up right now. Bam! You got punch. You're about 3 seconds in empowered block. So it's 3 seconds on unpowered block. What do you do from this? What do you see?
Half HP Lucio, and I think it was also anti-ed. I'm not sure. Okay.
Would you go for the Lucio if you were here?
I think I would, yeah.
Okay, so that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. So my first step is to get you in the right spot where you should be, and then I'm gonna let you make a decision. Personally, I would have either tried to power punch Ryan because I don't trust myself to hit that Lucio, or I would have gone backline because I'm perma backline pilled. But I don't think going for Lucio would have been a mistake. That's it. So you're cooking. You're fine. You're trolling.
Yeah.
Where should you slam to? Yeah. Where should you slam to?
At least around payload, maybe.
At least around payload. Yeah. At least around payload. If not, like here. But yeah, certainly payload. And again, this honest.
Yeah,
just
I missed the sleep. Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like if you're a good Doomfist, it really becomes a chess match between you and Ana. If you're a bad Doomfist or a mediocre Doomfist or even like you're a good Doomfist, right? But you're bad around, let's say, CDs, okay? You're really just hoping that they're bad. That's all you're doing. You're just hoping that they're bad. But when they're good, you automatically lose. So you don't really have a lot of control over whether you have a good engage or not. You're just hoping they miss. I want you to have so good with your engages. Slam here, shoot, punch Ryan, get your slam back, slam top, shoot. Drop punch and slam back up top. Even if you get slept here, you're so safe. You're full HP. You're engaging in cover. You don't make it possible for the Ana to control the fight. You control the fight. Even if she hits the sleep, because you're so well prepared and so well set up, it doesn't even kill you. Make your own luck. That's basically what I'm saying. Don't let yourself be victimized about whether that Ana was just really, really good or not. Because that stuff sucks, Because you're going to have really inconsistent performances depending on whether their backline is good or not. And I hate that stuff. No way. I was getting scared
Yeah,
for
to
a
get
second.
right there.
That's a strat to stagger him.
I think they're a bit more aggressive than my ult. I'm not sure.
So this is
Yeah, I
where
missed the sweep again.
you did the adjective rule, right? So shame on you. You said aggressive.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
the
true.
real problem here? I don't even have to turn around because I know what the real problem is. What's the real
Yeah,
problem?
no cover, and well, I got
No
lucky
cover?
there because Diana missed again.
So no cover. So you engage not on an angle, just running it down main. And she missed a sleep dart again. I don't know what's wrong with her. It must be a Taylor Swiftie. I think it explains a lot. The next thing here, I'm really gonna regret saying that. I think.
No, actually, you got the wrong one. The Swift is on my team.
Oh yeah, so that never mind. The goated Swift, right there you go. My bad. This is a professional coach, by the way. But there's another problem. There's maybe one that's even more important because we've been talking about using the CDs in your setup, committing on angles with cover, right, so that you can play around CDs. But there's an even bigger problem, and I'm gonna press right click and I'm gonna press R, and you're gonna see what I see. Do you see it? Do you see it?
Oh yeah, my team's not there. Yeah.
Your team is nowhere near. Where is your team fighting? So where should you angle?
Should have taken it more slowly, I guess.
You should, that's the wrong adjective again. It's not slow.
Yeah.
It's the location of the fight has changed. Was you fighting here? Fighting slowly? No, not necessarily. You're just fighting here. What do you mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, why is that slow? Why aren't you holding the choke, jackass? Like, is this fast? No, it's just stupid. Now, if your team was here, that would be good. So the problem is not slow or fast. The problem is not passive or aggressive. The problem is you're fighting where your team is not. That's it. If you have ultimate here and you're like, I want to get really greedy with my my cooldowns and go in super aggressively, screw the on, I don't even care anymore. I'm cool with that. Do it here. Do it here. So your first recognition is, oh, I'm getting greedy, I'm getting aggressive because I have my ultimate. And I'm like, yeah, that's why you're doing this. But when you have your ultimate, you're breaking the rules. You're not allowed to break the rules ever.
But I feel like also, if I did take the high ground, I feel like I'd just get poked out by like Diana and the Bastion.
So you get poked out from here. Yeah, I agree.
Maybe.
So this ain't the angle. So where's the angle?
I'd say maybe just around the corner.
Yeah, around the
I feel like
corner.
that'd be safer.
Like here?
Yeah, around this.
Not an angle though, right? So it's wrong.
Yeah, true. So
give
maybe
me
like the other
position.
one, the other corner maybe.
So like here? Yeah, you're cooking. You're cooking.
Yeah.
You could even lurk in here if you wanted to. So you could like start here and then like sneak around and see what happens. You could take high ground late, like once the on and Bastion have rotated to here and then assault them from up top. Or you could, like you said, just do the boring thing and play here. Don't tell me that you couldn't do work with double cooldown engage from here. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but again,
yeah,
the question is just where, right? Where? And so right now, you're not only lucky that she missed sleep dart, but also if they push now, what have you really done with your CDs? You know,
not much.
Not much, right? Like it's just because it's just you. Now this is better, but man, I would have hated if they'd pushed you right there. Like that would have sucked. And again, it's the same problem, right? Because I know where your team is, and it ain't here, right? So here comes the ultimate, and that just depresses me. Imagine if it had been here. Imagine. That Ryan's dead. Not because you're going to kill him, but because he's going to get 0 healing for about 12 seconds. Right? So, you could tell, you're like, man, I want to go in, but I can't because I actually, now that I'm in ult, I realize that nobody's with me.
Yeah, I get that.
Right? So you got to know where your team is. Again, I respect the clip.
Had to.
I respect it. Like unironically, I'm okay with it. It works for me. I'm not the fun police here, so.
Yeah.
Nice. See, we're not going to be making you play Doomfist boring. That's the opposite of what I want to do. I'm going to give you more awareness of where's my team position so that you can get more clips because you'll actually have help. And then I also want you to play, I'm going to say the word, more aggressive. Just do so around setting up on angles around cover, right? And not just standing directly in the open and also not standing in front of your team so you can get more clips, so you can use your cooldowns more often and you don't get screwed because the Ana hits a sleep dart. I want that to change, right?
Yeah.
Your Aunt Moira's she's Moira's brain rot, right? Like she's doing the same thing you were doing, right? So now you got to make a decision and you're like, crap, like. So she's out now, so that was honestly good recognition for me. You're like, I think she's going to come back. I pray she's going to come back. You were right. Please don't punch us. I will call
No,
the
I don't
police.
think I do. Okay, thank goodness.
Same thing with the spamming the shots. You see that? A lot of shots. Just keep it. Wait. This is a little early in the punch. I prefer to wait a tiny bit longer, like half a second. He's going to try to shatter you. I know it.
Yeah.
See, this is fairly good.
I think he does shatter me there.
This is fairly good. This is better. Like, you're making them walk into you. Where should you slam here? You need another close angle. Where should you go?
Either high ground or just, I'd say high ground or behind the payload.
High ground or behind payload, yeah, get out, right? It's funny because actually your team is behind you here, so going here is still technically an angle. Like, an angle is just split from somebody on your team, right? Somebody.
I think I do this. I think here I go behind the payload, he shatters me and misses. I'm not sure, though. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they say this is perfect, right? See, this is perfect because the problem is why is there going to be no follow-up to the shatter? Where's the follow-up to the shatter?
Because I have cover.
Well, not only do you have cover, but you're also on an angle too, right? So that they have to worry about this, right? And actually, that's what gets you the kill. This is good. This is good. It's not perfect, but this is good. Yeah, there you go. Get screwed. Taylor Swifty for the win.
Yeah, I think she said she like kept every nano for me too. So like.
Yeah, it was perfect. I mean, it was really good. That's the value of playing an angle right there, and using cooldowns to cover. Do you notice that? Like, legitimately just saved your life and forced all the CDs that allowed your cast to get the win. Sure, don't get too greedy with this. Start to think again. Like, where are we fighting? Where's my setup? You're pretty deep.
I got lucky there. I feel like with killing the.
I agree as well. Where should you be? Because your team is clearly fighting here. So where do you need to go?
Maybe high ground.
Yeah, high ground. I don't hate where you're at because you are on an angle, right? You see where you are, you see where they are, right? This is good. But I think high ground probably a little bit better. Yeah, that way you can just drop. Yeah, this is fine. Like, this is what... Okay, you want to use an adjective here? This is aggressive. But you know what? It's good aggressive. It's following the rules. You got cover. You're on an angle. It's up close. Works for me. Like, what is this Rein supposed to shield? Like, seriously, watch this Reinhardt's POV. Check this out. Watch this.
Yeah, you could get
That's you.
There.
You did that. You did that, right? You did that. There's no way that he could deal with that, right? That's good. That's good Doomfist. See, the funny thing here is look at when you get CC'd. You see it? Where did you use your slam to?
To the other side.
To the other side. But not quite behind cover. You notice that?
Yeah, that's true.
This is where you play around sleep dart. Or you know what? Don't even use a CD. Just stay here. Just shoot. Just shoot. And then maybe slam through her, use your ultimate, whatever. You got me? But it's actually when you get slept, when you get naded, is when you're standing behind your or in front of your team. But yeah, this is fine. This is good CDs, good mechanics. I don't think they're gonna even get a good touch here. You start on the angle again. I don't care. They're not gonna touch. Nice. Like, it's actually crazy how like the last few fights felt so good, and you're playing honest Overwatch. You got me? It's crazy. Any questions so far?
No, not really.
Okay. You said you got stuck on third?
Yeah, we got stuck on third. I think the first two were pretty easy, like kind of breezed through, but I think we held there for like 4 minutes, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I want to see all the good things that you're going to do. Like right now, I already love the angle. It's a little far, but you know what? It wasn't far initially. Check it. They were here, and then you angle. Look at the rotation. You see that? That's you.
Yeah, I think they like back up to like the choke right there.
They do.
They,
so
like,
where
really
do you go
get
from
scared.
here? Where do you go from here?
I feel like I go behind the little red boot.
Yeah,
right?
you can go right. Pretty greedy. You can also attack the Ana from this angle too, because even if she sleeps you, who cares? You're isolated. You're on an angle. She's gonna have to leave, and then you're just gonna do all this kind of stuff, and then you're gonna do all sorts of funny stuff here. You could even do this kind of funny stuff from here, because close angle here too. Yeah, you got all sorts of options here. I really like your setup here. This is good. Yeah, I see. You're cooking here. You're cooking. You know you're cooking because you're doing damage with your primary fire. That's how you know you're cooking. I'm in a good range for me, right? But you also know you're cooking because what's about to happen on your screen. You see it?
Yeah, the rock.
He's gonna whiff it. You didn't leave it at chance. You know? You didn't leave it to chance. What's he supposed to do? And look at this freaking space. You guys are down one. And look at the space that they have. This is really good. This is really good. Now, in that on cover. So, for example, like right now, where do you need to rotate to?
I'd say maybe go back to the red booth again.
You could. Or are you ready for this one? Right there. Bam. Immediately on an angle right here. Because where's your team? Where are you? I don't want you stacked with the team. I need you to pull their attention over here. I want you to pull their attention over here. I want you to pull their attention over here. You got me?
Yeah, can I also like not dive the Ana? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'd maybe get poked out by the Hanzo again.
Well,
if I go to high ground
and cover, hide from Hans and get healed, engage here, right? So what you're doing now is you don't have an angle, but you have cover. Right? I want you to have both. I want you to have both. I want you to have both. This was both. You remember? And that's why it was so high impact despite being down one immediately. See, you're fine. You see? Why? Because where did you end up? You ended on cover. They can't punish you. And actually, the Sigma dies because the Sigma's not getting any healing. Why is Sigma getting healing? Well, we just saw why. Do it. Do the clip. I don't care if I'm 280 HP. The voices are speaking to me. The voices. So that's where you had more discipline than I would have. Okay, so the voices did kick in.
Yeah, they did.
I respect it. I respect it. You're trolling. If you're gonna go for a double cooldown engage, where does the slam have to land?
At least in the little doorway there.
At least in the doorway. Otherwise, now I know this Ana. We're very acquainted with this Ana, so we know what's gonna happen. Oh, she's
actually does hit
unreal.
it.
You trash can. You got smoked. You got smoked. Nah, but yeah, this is just like you're just playing with fire here, right? Now, optimally here, where would you punch? Where would you slam? Like, let's say no double cooldown engage. Where do you go?
I'd say red booth again.
Yeah, red booth. Just hug here, right? Just hug here. And
Yeah.
Like, yo, come on, Sigma, hit me in the face. I dare you to, right? Beat the crap out of him. Like, what's he going to do? Yeah, you're cooking a little hard here. I'm not gonna lie. So even though you didn't die, you didn't get enough damage or didn't get as much damage done as you could have. This is much better. See,
I feel like if they still had the other DPS, it would have died.
Yeah, exactly. And see, this was cooking, right? Literally, the second I compliment you, good things happen. Check it out. Close range angle? Yeah. Cover? Yeah. Value or the ability to play around cooldowns? You betcha. And look at what the Sigma's looking at now. You see it? You see it? Perfect. So not only do you kill Lucio, but also because Sigma's so busy worried about you, he forgets about his own resources and now he's going to die. Banger. Yeah, that fire strike is so annoying. I hate that bug.
Yeah.
I respect the clip.
I mean, I have the ult there, so it wasn't that bad, even if I missed it. I don't think I ult there, though.
Yeah. I think it would also... My question is more about, like, is there going to be follow-up to this? I'm not so sure. Well, I guess your Moira's pushing, so yeah, never mind, we're good. Excuse me. Yeah, good stuff. I mean, it's incredible. Like, it wasn't perfect, but you set up a nice little close range angles. You had your team support consistently, and so good stuff happens. I don't mind this again because you see where your team is.
Yeah,
like they're hustling. So all this kind of crap works. So you're not even the one to get the kill. Well, that was nice. You actually need to stay. You actually just need to stay here.
Yeah, I think I realized after I saw my Moira in front.
Yeah. I think your Echo's dead, but honestly, it's not bad. It's a good trade. Now, where's the fight gonna happen? Knowing your Echo's in spawn, where's this fight gonna happen?
I'd say maybe around the corner. Somewhere
I agree.
like
So where should you be?
Around the corner again.
Yeah,
or high ground.
Or high ground. Now, why did you say high ground? Why is this maybe not optimal? Remember, what's the rule? You have cover here, yes, but
yeah, I do, but I feel like it's not close enough.
It's not close enough, and is it an angle?
No.
No, your entire team's gonna be here, right? So you're probably gonna you're gonna chill until your Echo gets back, so you can just slam to your team and just chill. But when this fight starts, you're probably gonna do this, or you're gonna do this, or you're gonna hard flank, or you're gonna punch across to here, an angle like here. There's always an option, right? It just, are you smart enough to find it? I mean, this is an angle. I'm just not convinced we're gonna be fighting here, right? So, so you're gonna get cleared. Because this is where I'm concerned, right? This is where I'm like, you're not going to angle this, are you? Right? Oh, I'm such a hater. You see it? Cover, angle, range. I love it. I actually love it. And so this makes it so hard for them. Like, they want to walk forward here. But who does this Sigma shoot?
Yeah, no.
Does it ignore you? Because if you ignore it, it's you might trade his backline, or you might punch him in the back and, like, ruin his ult, or ruin his plan, right? Do it, you coward. Oh, disastrous. That's okay. You didn't get enough height. But honestly, actually very reasonable. That was not even fish clipping or fish clipping, I say.
Yeah.
Clip fishing. Because I actually think it's a pretty high percentage play if you can pull it off. So yeah, it's all right. You missed the shot, but it's a good play. And also you did it from a good angle, so I can't even be mad.
Yeah, he goes Malgo there, and I think that's when I start to struggle a bit more.
Yeah. Well, let's see how you angle. Because Malga can't angle as well as you can. So if he spends all this time chasing you, like it's not good for. Yeah. See, this is Christmas Day for you. You don't know it, but it is. Because if you play your cover right, you play your cooldowns right. Do you see what this Malga's doing?
Yeah,
he's turning his
like,
big rosy butt cheeks on your entire team, right? With anti-nade, echo stickies, cast. And if you don't troll your brains out here, who's gonna win this HP trade? Like, right?
Yeah, him.
He's right. Well, no, not him. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. But because he's gonna have to turn his back, not have cover, no angle. Now you're gonna have to disengage cardiac. But once this is over, he's cooked. I'm not gonna lie, my cheeks clenched a little there. You had me scared there for just a second.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Good try. That was really close. All right, what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? You got ultimate, so we can go. Ready? Aggressive. But you're going to do so from a smart position first. Where's the smart position with where the fight's going to happen? You tell me.
I feel like I could maybe go, like, behind the boxes, maybe.
Like over here?
Yeah, over here, something like that.
I would probably lurk here or lurk high ground and just chill and see what happens, and then get some crazy drop punch or something like that. I mean, you got cover, you got an angle, right? I hate this freaking stuff. Like, you're so lucky that even hit, and even though it did hit, it doesn't matter because you're just standing behind your team. He's already hiding from people here. If you come from here, it's done. That's what an angle does for you, right? It doesn't allow them all to stand. It's fine. I would say, man, I wouldn't even drop on point. You know? Get a little bit more HP. Drop in this echo. Drop in this cast. Drop over here, right? Get on your angle here. Everyone worries so much about, like, I gotta worry about point, but win the fight first. You got me? Win that fight first. Play your angle first. Play your angle first, then we'll go from there. Okay, let's take a look. Any questions so far?
No, not really.
What are you seeing so far?
Yeah, I feel like I need to get better with my positioning because I.
What about your positioning? Be specific.
Especially the cooldowns, because like for example, the sleep I got lucky there because Diana just couldn't.
So what about your cooldowns needs to improve?
I guess I need to play a bit more around cover and take angles that have more cover with them.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see you use your cooldowns to set up on angles with cover. Not just engage directly from main or standing in the open. Angles with cover. That's your rule. That's your rule. Frontline or backline. And then for micro, it's mostly been the amount of shots that you spam right prior to engaging, right? Beyond that, I think it's been okay. Where should you set up? Step number 1.
I feel high ground again here.
I feel high
ground. The fight's going to be around payload.
Right. Yep, and you got a lot of nice cover here. Anybody contest you here, you ruin their day. That's how you create space. Go. Do it. Do it. Do it. I'm coaching you with my time machine. You're going to take high ground here. I just know it. And by the way, as you rotate forward, the same thing happens, yeah? Because where are you going to
go? Maybe little high ground there on the left, maybe again.
But here, right?
Yeah, this.
Why not here? Why not here?
I feel like I'm too far here. I can't really shoot.
You nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it. I'd rather you sit here and focus tank. Why? Because it's short range. If Malga turns on you, he's exposing himself to your backline. That's how you create space. And then if you want to go backline, this is probably your best way to do so. I'm gonna call the police.
Yeah, same punch.
No angle, no setup, right? That's the other thing. It's not just the fact that there's no angle. Look at how far away you are, right? Now, you're like, oh, I didn't ask for the nano. I don't care. You were going to punch this. The punch is a mistake. Get here and start your decision making from here. Get nano here, totally different story. That's it. You got me? Nano just amplifies your mistake. That's all it does. It's still a mistake. Fine to go for the cast. You just missed the punch. But I'm telling you, all roads lead back to you were MIA at the start of this fight because your setup was cheeks. That's the problem here. Don't worry about, oh, I should have hit the punch, whatever. Nice punch, speaking of which. Should have been different, right? Should have been totally different. All right, let's see what we got here. Now, I'm not going to be repetitive here, but I have a feeling that's why you get full health. Because this is every single type of punch that you do.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, even going to payload here would be better because at least you're more likely to hit the punch. But yeah, I mean, just play the angle. Play the angle here, play the angle here. Because now they're off of Ana, like you could actually play here, right? Echo contest, you should get shot by your team. I don't hate this. This is not terrible, but you need to get to that window. Hey, look what happens when you get even a tiny bit closer. Still not optimal, but yeah. Nice. That's okay. I mean, I think the fight started poorly, but it ended up okay. They just popped 3 ults, or 2 ults. Okay. Now, this is the one here. This is where you need to win. Because I see Nano, I see Doomult, and I see High Noon Cole. This is the one, right? They're going to have 2 ults to respond, but it needs to be now. Where do you need to engage to? Where's your setup? 2 spots. What do you got?
I feel like not point like further away in front on the little high ground there again.
Perfect.
This, yeah.
Or mid-step here. Yeah, mid-step here, right? Either one.
So because I think there when I go on the point, I get like caged. So I feel like maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're cooked, right? You're cooked. Because let me put it this way: where are your team's threats? They're all here, right? So when you slam here, you don't make them make a decision. It becomes easy, right? If you slam here and he tries to cage you here, first off, they're not even looking at your backline. Second off, you actually have cover from cage fight. And third off, if it doesn't work, you now have easy access to backline instead of having to look at a payload or a big slab of meat in front of you. That's the difference, right? So it's not just a defensive decision. It's also an offensive decision as well. And you're cooked. Goodbye. Sayonara.
Yeah.
Right? Also sucks kind of that you didn't have Nano yet either, but I don't think that would have changed things. Oh my gosh. Well, let's say you don't get nanoed here. I assume this was communicated?
I don't think so. No, I think she just said she has nano in.
Okay. So, same setup here, right? Take top, go from there. Yeah, this is just too rushed. Set up first, then engage. So much easier. Because the reason why is so you don't have to use 3 cooldowns just to go. You could take your time. You got plenty of time. And also your backline doesn't have to put on sprinting boots to keep up with you because they're with you. So the problem of why you get traded here is because your team has to sprint to keep up with you and they end up overextending. This should have been a more strategic and more deliberate. Take top, take here, get the nano here, kill backline, then go from there, right? Yeah, I do not think mechanics are, at least if this is an accurate representation of your average game, I don't think mechanics are what's keeping you in diamond. And I think you mentioned that in your forum, and I would agree. Slam out. Okay, wait for your team. Desperately need to take that top position. Okay. You kind of see what I'm saying? Because the thing is, it's like, what makes you unique to Malga? It's not this. It's not this. He's going to beat you at this every time. What it is Malga can't do this. Right? Malga can't do this occasionally. Right? Malga can't do this, right? Like, look at this guy, right? Merry Christmas. Oh, and by the way, when you take these angles, not only does it set up your own stuff for backline, but you also protect your team. Because do you know what the Cassidy is?
He's also on the high, there.
Here it comes. Here it comes. You're cooked. You are so dead. You see?
Yeah, I see.
Because for you to protect your team, you had to use cooldowns to get there. You notice that? You notice that? Instead of just being there. Okay, yeah, and that's it right there. Okay, let's take some notes. What do you got to practice? Be as specific as possible. No aggressive or defensive or smarter or more patient or not even better cover usage. Be more specific than that.
I guess I need to stop taking it down main and try to take a lot more on the sides.
Work on angles setup instead of running it on main. Not flanking necessarily, just slightly different angle than team. A lot of people are like, oh, Spile tells people to flank on Doomfist all the time. No, I don't. How many flanks did we really talk about? Like maybe on the Ana and first point, right? That's about it. Everything else is more like soft angle here, a little different sight line there. A lot of frontline stuff today, right? It's totally fine. All right, keep going.
I there's that a lot, and
Remember the CD setups with cover?
yeah, I guess get better setup, I guess, because like I do too much like far punches. It's like from the other side of the map.
Be patient. Don't reach for targets, right? It really, if you look at both point 1 and 2, whether it's the cover and the angle, they complement each other, right? If you work on your angles, it's going to be easier for you to get 2 targets without reaching. But if you also work on setting up to cover, you're not going to get poked out when you are setting up on those angles. Micro stuff for me, and this isn't just going to be like micro, but like it could be, don't keep an eye on spamming shots prior to engage. You want to have 2 to 3 in chamber. With ult, don't play differently. Don't set up differently. Just play more high risk, high reward with your engage, right? And then always check your team's position to know where to set up. There are no positioning rules about what map spots you should be using as Doomfist. Everything is, contextual on where is my team. And then taking an angle around that. That's it. And that could change very aggressively, right? Think about 3rd point defense. Like you guys went from being all the way on cart to spawn camping them. And you did very well with the spawn camping, but you did very poorly when they were on cart. And it's not because you had the wrong mindset or didn't understand. You just didn't know. That's the mistake. That's what you do between fights. You check your team's positioning. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, any questions?
No questions.
Okay.